Hello, peace and shalom. Welcome back, Hebrew Nation. This is Ivongia, and I'm back again with another topic. Of course, as you can see from the topic below, today we're talking about the angel Raphael and the Rephaim using Ekegusii Hebrew Bantu code. I'm so excited to be back, y'all. I missed you guys. Now, for those of you who have never watched my channel, or it's your first time on my channel, of course, I've always endeavored and moved the motion that the Ekegusii are a lost tribe of Israel, and I will show you using vocabulary and etymology that we are a lost tribe of Israel, using language and cultural practices, of course, but I approach it from a pre-Babel approach, meaning in Genesis 11, the world was initially one language, one speech, okay? And then with the coming of the Nephilim and the Rephaim, God decided to confuse the languages, so that way they would not try to build a tower towards the heavens, okay? With that in mind, even as I try to show you how the same words they have in Hebrew exist in Bantu African languages, of course, just bear in mind that what they teach you, the Christianity we are taught, is taught from a white man's consciousness. So as an African, the names, the situations are not necessarily all the way familiar like they should be. Okay? And that's why we use Bantu Hebrew languages to help decode the meaning of some of these biblical names. Now, I'll talk about this, so every week I'll put up a video of the pertinent angel. Okay. Now, when I told my daughter I was about to put it up, my daughter started to make fun of me. Well, she told me Netflix actually produces series, like the series they have, they actually produce them quicker than me. So I was like, oh my god. So I challenged myself. So for the next coming 6 weeks, I'm going to talk about the 6 watcher angels, okay? And the 6 watcher angels are the 6 watcher angels are, these are the names of the angels who watch: Uriel, Raphael, Raguel, Michael, Sarakiel, and Gabriel. Sorry, I meant to start with Michael, but I changed my mind because of what currently happening now, and it's pertinent to our time in regard to COVID-19. So I just chose to talk instead about the angel of healing, Raphael, first, okay? And when you talk about Raphael, you can't not talk about the Rephaim, because Rapha and Repha have a root word that's the same. They come from the same root meaning. They all have one meaning that's the same. Okay, and then what makes it vary is the contextual variation. And me would imply, a family, but Raphael implies, healer of God. Okay. Now, who are angels? Before I talk about even Raphael, who are angels? Can we worship angels? Okay, so now, if you go to the book of Hebrews 1:14. This is what it says, and it holds. Hebrew 1:14 will tell you what the purpose of angels are. Okay, so are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? Okay. Now, the second portion, so basically angels are ministering spirits that are meant to minister to those who will inherit salvation, okay? Now, there's 2 kinds of angels. Now, if angels are generally ministering spirits, there are beings that are angels but are not ministering angels. So they're non-ministering angels, okay? And we'll find that in the book of Jude 1:6. And the angels who did not keep their positions of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling, those sorry, these he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day. Okay, so there's two kinds: ministering and ministering, the ones that broke off and rebelled against the Most High, who are then would be called the Rephaim. Okay, so let's ask ourselves, what is, to be able to understand what the role of an angel is, we have to understand or define or have an idea of what the word to minister means. And I use Bible. How I really love Bible. How it's so simple. Okay, so to be a minister is to assist. It's to be an attendant. Okay, to attend to somebody, to become his personal servant. In that sense, to take care of somebody who's used in temple service. So if angels are ministering spirits, okay, and they're supposed to be like your personal servant being, now how you as a now I don't understand how you as a human being can worship an angel who's just a servant like you. You know, how you gonna worship an angel for provision? An angel is nothing without God, just like you're nothing without God. You understand? It doesn't make sense. Okay. Now, let's start with Raphael, the angel of healing light. Okay. Now, with the name Raphael, it's made of two agglutinations. Okay, Rapha and El. El is God. Okay, so Raphael. Now, in Ekegusii, the name will become RABA'ERI. But we'll talk about the Ekegusii derivation after I finish the Hebrew derivation. Okay, so you have the, I'm going to give you variants of the name Raphael. So I'll give you variants of the name Raphael. Okay, so you have RAPA, of course, which is rooted in the word. Of course, you have RAPA, rooted in the word healing. Then you have RAPA, you have Beth, Rapha. Then you have Rapha, you have Raphu, R-A-P-H-U, you have Rephan, you have Rephaiah, Rephaim, and Rephat. Now, these are just general words that share a common root with the concept of Raphael and Rephaim. Okay? Now, so let's examine how the Hebrew language derives the meaning of the name Raphael, the angel of healing. Okay? Or God is my healer. Right? Now, in Hebrew, Rapa means to heal, to restore, to repair. Okay? To heal, to restore, or to repair. Then the second meaning that we derive out of the root Rapa is to sink. Okay? It's to sink. It's the dead ones, it's the faded ones in that sense. Okay? And this is where you get the derivation for the name Rephaim, to imply the sunken ones, the dead ones, the faded ones. Okay, and El, of course, is the name of God, so it's God my healer. Okay. Okay. So, as we're talking about Raphael, the angel of healing, alright? So, healing cannot work in a vacuum of its own, because the idea of healing works with a certain disease or ailment, okay? So, we have to understand the cultural view or world view of how the ancient Hebrews viewed disease, okay? So, I'm going to give you the cultural derivation of how disease was viewed in the Hebrew culture. So, Jehovah Rapha, of course, means Jehovah my healer, from the idea of Rapha, to heal. Now, in Hebrew, Refuah means to heal. However, in Swahili, Raufu means gentleness, compassion, or to lead somebody to rest in terms of helping them recover. You see that? So, the language is pretty similar in that sense. Now, in the Hebrew culture, this is a worldview based on what I've read on the Bible. Disease and sin were viewed as uncleanliness, okay, a kind of dirt. So disease and sin, okay. Now, viewed as unclean in the sense that there were certain ailments that required isolation or some kind of banishment. Okay, now in modern day treatments, do we isolate patients? Yeah, by every means. So the priest also, if he viewed a disease and he deemed that it was contagious, then he would issue out an edict or an order for that person to be isolated from the general community. So it says here in Leviticus 13:5, if the spot on the skin is white but does not appear to be more than skin deep, and the hair in it has not turned white, the priest is to put the infected person in isolation for 7 days. Okay, and when you go to Isaiah 1:18, God talks about or equates disease. God talks about or equates sin with uncleanness. Okay, so he says, I believe he says, "Come, let us reason together, and though your sins be white, come, let us reason together, and though your sins be red as crimson, I will make them white as snow." And of course, modern day cleanness, of course, and hygiene is important in terms of keeping, bacteria away. In that sense, so. Now we move over to the Ekegusii derivation of the name Raphael. Okay, now we have the name RABA'ERI. RABA'ERI is a cognate of the Ekegusii. RABA'ERI is a cognate of the Hebrew word Raphael. Okay, Raphael. So, but let me explain it so you'll understand. Okay, so initially, like I discussed with you, that there was the Hebraic cultural view, ancient Hebraic cultural view, disease was viewed as an uncleanness. Okay, now in Ekegusii, the word Raphael is a combination of two words. Okay, Rava and Eri. Okay, now the word Rava or Ravi or Ravia means to illuminate, to shine, to restore, to make clean, white or bright. Okay, now think about this. Okay, let's look at modern day hygiene. Okay, and then bearing in mind what's happening with the COVID-19, the most fundamental way governments are trying to control the infection is by cleaning and disinfecting the streets, right? I mean, just common sense. The cleaner your environment is, the less it is likely to have disease, right? Okay, now when you take antibiotics, okay, say you have an infection, a viral infection, you take antibiotics. What happens is that the white blood cells and the medicine will help fight and eradicate those viruses. So in essence, what the medicine is doing is that it's cleaning out your system of the foul viruses. Okay, so the whole aspect of healing is a process of cleaning out, to make clean, to make whole, to restore. Okay, to bring back to its original state. So the cognate for Raphael is RABA'ERI in Ekegusii. Now the cognate for but RABA'ERI is a name that's used for females. Now men are given the Hebrew variation of the same name. Okay, so girls are called RABA'ERI and the boys will be called Moravu. Now if you look at the variations I gave you for the name of Raphael, there's Rapa, there's Raphael, there's Rapu or Rafu, R-A-P-H-U. When it becomes phonetically converted, because Ekegusii, we interchange our P's and our B's, we don't really have P per se, it's more like B. So what that becomes then is Moravu. Okay, Moravu. So mo is a prefix for something or some of the soul. So Rabu is the name for a boy in Ekegusii, which is really Raphael. So mo Rabu. In Hebrew it's Rabu, Rapu or Rafu. Okay? Now, so in essence, the name Bravera is a combination of the word rava, to shine, to clean, to illuminate, plus the combination, which is a suffix of the word God, eri or el, which is in Hebrew el. We don't have the letter, of course, I want to say this, we don't have the letter L, so it's eri, RAPA'EL, God who illuminates, God who cleans, God who disinfects, God who shines, God who is knowledgeable, okay? Because if you're RABA'ERI and Rabbi is a teacher, it means you're an illuminator, okay? So Angel Raphael in essence is also a teacher angel. He's the angel of knowledge and wisdom in one aspect or another, okay? Okay, so we'll move over to the next slide. Now, a very important aspect that I found in Bantu languages, there's a mystery in Bantu languages, right? Now, for example, the name Lemuel. Lemuel means devotee of God, which is Solomon's other name, okay? Lema in Swahili means a scholar or a professor, can be called Mlema, okay? Lema. And El is God. Eri in Ekegusii, Eri is God, okay? So Lema Eri, meaning teacher of God, or scholar of God, or professor of God, depending on how you want to put it, okay? Now, if you take Lemuel and interchange it, becomes Elimu. In Swahili, same thing. Education. Elimu, Lemuel. So you turn it around, you still find the same meaning, and that's the mystery of Bantu language. That's why Bantu or African languages are just so different from European languages. Okay? So now here we have the name Rabia, of course, which means to illuminate. Okay, like we had actually talked about. Okay, it means to clean or to illuminate upon. Okay, now when you take the word Rabba, okay, which is the beginning part of Raphael. Now, because of course Ekegusii, we don't have a P, so it becomes Rabba. Now, if you take it and interchange, it becomes Bara. Okay, mystery of Bantu language is what? Okay, Bara, which is pig Latin, and that's a common characteristics in languages. You'll find that some names, you know, kind of how people do with the name Heaven and Nevea. I think it's just a human trait sometimes to interchange the language and pig Latinize it, and then it's transported and transferred to other tribes. Now, when you see the word Bara in Ekegusii, when you say Bara, like Omogaso Varide, it's, you mean the sun is blazing, it's shining, okay? Just the same thing as Rafa, like I just shown you, okay? Now, then you have Ba'ar, Hebrew, Ba'ar. Ba'ar means to consume or to clean out. Do you see what I'm saying? Nothing really changes, okay? Bara in Hebrew means to form out of cutting or to create, you know, to create something out of cutting, okay? In Ekegusii, bara means to do a surgery, okay? So it's to do a surgery. Now, do you understand why Rabba, which is the beginning of Raphael, when turned around, it not only means to blaze, to shine, the same thing, it also means to do a surgery, to create by cutting. Now, when you bara somebody, okay, when you do a surgery, so you take out a cancerous tumor, you cut that tumor out of that person and you have to split that person, but then you end up recreating a new healed person. So you form out of cutting, and that's how Eve was formed as well, out of cutting. So Raphael is a creator angel. You know, he can assist God, like with, you know, probably like somebody needs healing in their DNA or something, maybe they have schizophrenia. Those are the kind of angels we pray to surround you and surround your generations. I'm not saying, please, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to worship an angel. That is wrong doctrine. That's wrong doctrine. All I'm saying is summon them. So just like we say, we summon angels to surround America, so that America, you know, will not experience this COVID. We summon angels to surround Kenya. We summon angels to surround East Africa. But we summon Raphael angels, healing angels. Now in Swahili, when you say barabara. You know, when somebody says that barabara, it means in line, in order. Now Rabba or Raphael is an angel, comes from the Hebrew word RAPA, meaning to restore. Okay, now in Swahili, if somebody says barabara, it means everything is in order, it's back, it's, you know, it's how it's supposed to go, it's supposed to align, it's in tandem with what you're doing. Okay, then bera is fire, you know, like bera is fire, boiling fire. And then in Hebrew, I'm sorry, bera in Ekegusii is to boil, but bera in Hebrew is fire. You see that? Now Fedra is still the same, a variation of the same name. It's still a cognate of the word bera. Fedra. Now see how phonetic conversions happen. See, Akisi will say vetra. You see, beta, because we don't really have that P, so it means goddess of light. Okay, shining, glowing. Okay, goddess of light. So either way, when you take the name and turn it the other way, it still makes the same amount of sense. It's in fact, it gives more meaning if you just let the language speak to you. Just look at that. To make white, to clean, to heal, to restore, blazing, shine, surgery, to consume, to clean out, to form out by cutting or creating. Like, these are components of healing, you see. Okay, now from this language, what that should tell you is, when you study language and you study, like, say, the characteristics of an angel, what this tells me is that Raphael is an illuminating angel. He's very bright in that sense. He's a very bright angel. Like, he, in my head, from the language and from the interpretation, he has white light that surrounds him. Bara, araba, you know, he rabas, he baras, he's blazing. Okay, a white light. He has cleansing light. So where Raphael passes, if there is disease, he cleanses it out. Okay, you know how, like, in a movie, a place is, you know, like in commercials, how they show like a dirty kitchen, and then the detergent comes and passes through, and the whole kitchen. That's Raphael. He boils, like, he's a cleaner. He's just a cleanser. Okay, he smells like cleanness. Okay. So now, you take the name Raphael and pick Latinize it. So remember, in ancient language, you don't have to be so OCD about vowels. So when you have, say, L, you can replace that with E, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, as long as the L is there, anyone will know that that should be representative of the L or God. Okay, that's why, like, in Arabic, God is Allah, A-L. You see, and in Yoruba, God is Oluwa, O-L. You see, it doesn't really change. So the only you know, consonants were not a constant like the Roman language. Okay, I mean, sorry, vowels were not a constant like the Roman language. So now, I'm going to show you something about the Yoruba name for God, which means most powerful, most intense God. Alagbara. Okay? Alagbara is actually the name Raphael. Okay? Meaning God, my healer, most powerful, most potent. Okay? But Alagbara means powerful. If you take the Yoruba name Alagbara, and please, if you're Yoruba, please let me know if the G is silent, but I don't think it matters. The Yoruba name Alagbara and turn it the other way around become Raba'el. You see, Raba'el. It's really Raba'el. It's Raphael. And this is how sometimes names were carried on to different tribes, and by the time maybe a researcher got there, they would never ever connect that Raphael and Alagbara are one name. It's just turned around. It's very interesting. So his job is to clean. You know, he carries cleaning equipment, cleaning tools, okay, in that sense. So he's an illuminating angel. His job is to clean out, to form by cutting. So when you have people talking about, I had a surgery, like I once had a story where a girl went to Turkana in my country. She was an American, and she went to Turkana. She said that she'd been told to go and break some covenants there, and when she went there, she said she got so sick, and she says Jesus came and did a surgery on her and took something like clay and wiped it out on her stomach, and just basically, those were his stitches. He just, but he did open her stomach and remove something. You see that? Now, when you see God or Jesus in that form, in that property, he's become RABA'ERI, meaning God who illuminates, God who cleans out, God who heals. So the meaning of cleaning doesn't really come out in the Hebrew language. You have to be able to tap into ancient language, African language, so you can understand why the word RAPA or RAPA means healing. What is its roots? And the African Bantu roots show it has roots to do with blazing, to shine, to boil, to illuminate, to clean. So basically, all these cleaning components have to do with the aspect of healing. Now, the African language does such an imperative job of bringing out the meaning of the name Raphael by adding the component of disinfecting, of cleaning, of illuminating. Okay, and it's from here the name Rabbi was derived from. That's why Jesus was called Rabbi, because he was an illuminator. Okay, his job was to illuminate out of ignorance. Okay, the ignorance of sin. Now, if you look at the book of Enoch or Enoch, you will really find the quintessence of who Raphael is. Okay, why? Yes, his name means healing, but the word Rapha is rooted, like from African language, from the concept of light. Okay, light, illumination, and to clean. Okay, now what is to be able to understand further, I'm going to show you this using the book of Enoch. So first, Enoch 10:6-10. Okay, when the fallen angels had rebelled against God, God commissioned Raphael, one of the watcher angels, to go and bind Azazel. Azazel was a chief leader. Okay, I'm talking about chief leader in this rebellion. His job, he had advised all the angels, and he's the one who was inciting them angels to go and rebel against God. So God had to deal with Raphael, so that Raphael could go deal with Azazel. So when Raphael came in contact with Azazel, we do find God telling him, again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into darkness, and opening the desert which is in Dudael, cast him in there, throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. So now, from verse 6-7, the darkness is mentioned 2 times. You see that? So he says, cast him into darkness and open the desert which is in Dudael. Then verse 7 is, throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. Okay, now let's see verse 8. Verse 8, there shall he remain forever, cover his face, that he may not see the light. Okay, now the angel that's commissioned, what I found funny was that when I was looking at this scripture, what I found interesting is that the angel that was commissioned to bind Azazel was not Michael, because we know Michael is a no-nonsense angel. He doesn't do baby sugar, honey. He don't do those things. Raphael is the one who was commissioned to bind Azazel. I find that funny. Okay, but I guess it was pertinent because Raphael works with light and darkness, because he's an angel of light. So his job was to use that light that he had to bind Azazel to darkness. Right? polar opposites. So when you find Raphael, he's the exact opposite of the Rephaim. Okay, so in 8, there shall he remain forever, cover his face that he may not see the light, and in the great day of judgment let him be cast into the fire. See, another element, fire. Restore the earth with the angels, restore the earth which the angels have corrupted, and announce life to it, that I might revive it. Now, so Azazel is bound, hands chained by Raphael, angel of light, and is bound into darkness forever. It makes a lot of sense, you know. Okay, so